The proposed delisting begins a 60-day public comment period, and the idea of removing the bears from federal protection, a reflection of the way the grizzlies in the 22,000 square miles of the greater Yellowstone ecosystem have rebounded in recent years. Biologists say there are over 700 bears in those zones, roughly half of all bears in the northern Rockies. But bear managers say it's a population facing change.
Yes, we've looked at issues like declines in whitebark pine, and is that been a threat to grizzly bears? Changes in the cutthroat trout population in the lake, has that been a threat to grizzly bears? The distribution of bears, the mortality levels of bears, and the regulatory mechanisms that would be in place if the bear was delisted.
The Interagency Grizzly Bear Committee, which represents a broad mix of federal and state agencies, has been pooling that information and discussing the changing conditions at length.
The proposed rule has in it what's called a threats analysis that analyzes all those things, pulls together all the best available science and information, and then reaches a decision on these threats. And at this point, we feel that all those threats are adequately addressed.
If the delisting is ultimately approved, management of the Yellowstone bears would be more of the responsibility of Montana, Idaho, and Wyoming wildlife agencies. Although with Yellowstone Park in the middle of the territory, it's expected there would still be federal involvement in grizzly management.
Not like the bears are going to be left to their own devices. They're going to be very carefully managed. Their mortalities will be very limited and managed. Their habitat will be very carefully managed. So delisting doesn't mean that we're walking away from the bears. It just changes the way that bears are managed.
In Missoula, Dennis Bragg, MTN News.